Welcome to Pause and Play. I'm Jessica. This is your pocket companion, a place to pause, to play, and to find your way back home to yourself. You don't have to do anything, just be here. Guidepost 23. Notice the little things. Finding wonder, presence, and meaning in the everyday, the extraordinary is often hidden in the ordinary. You just have to slow down enough to see it. Take a moment to pause, gently close your eyes, and inhale slowly. As you exhale, soften your gaze, open your awareness. Whisper, "I am paying attention." Let that phrase draw you into the quiet beauty of this moment. Notice the little things, the way the sunlight rests on the floor, the sound of a child's laugh, the comfort of warm socks. The tiny moments are not filler, they're the fabric of life. Presence begins with noticing. We're often taught to chase big dreams, big answers, big moments. But life isn't only made of milestones. It's made of morning light, shared smiles, quiet pauses, small kindnesses. Noticing the little things is a practice of reverence, of seeing what's already here, of anchoring into enough-ness. Let this mantra remind you, nothing is too small to matter. Personal story. When my children were small, we lived in a narrow city row home in Philadelphia. No backyard, no garden, just a tiny front stoop and the steady rhythm of sidewalk traffic and the buses going by. For nature, we walked to the neighborhood park. For quiet, we paid close attention. One afternoon, overstimulated and emotionally fried, I packed snacks, grabbed the stroller, wandered outside with my kids. The city was loud, my thoughts were louder, and I felt like I was running on fumes. Halfway down the block, my youngest tugged my sleeve. "Look, Mama," she whispered, pointing at the sidewalk. There between the cracks in the concrete, a tiny green sprout had pushed its way toward the sun. "It's growing even here." Something about that stopped me. We crouched down together to look more closely. Life insisting on itself, beauty right there in the mess. Noticing, our walks became slow, curious treasure hunts. We noticed the ants marching in lines, the shimmer of puddles drying on pavement, pigeons puffing their feathers on the park bench. We found feathers and heart-shaped rocks and tucked them into our pockets like sacred artifacts. Slowing down like that rewired something in me. The city certainly didn't get quieter. My life didn't suddenly become easier, but I began to see differently. I started tracking these moments, just one or two each day in a little notebook I called my Small Joys Journal. Noticing became a form of devotion. It grounded me in what was real, what was beautiful, what was still working, even when everything else felt overwhelming. The steam rising from my morning tea, the sound of chalk scraping the sidewalk, the way my daughter's head leaned into my shoulder during story time, the scent of rain before it fell. I didn't have to earn joy or plan for it. I just had to pay attention. That's the quiet power of noticing. It doesn't ask for more. It just asks us to be here. Even now when things feel rushed or hard or full, I come back to this practice. One small thing, one moment, one tiny wonder, a breath, a shadow, a spark of light through the window, the tiniest signs of life whispering, "This matters too." Science meets soul. Noticing small details activates the ventral vagal system, supporting regulation and safety. It grounds attention in the present and reduces overwhelm by shifting focus away from anxiety loops. Mindful noticing creates micro moments of awe, joy, and calm, all of which support balance and nervous system healing. You don't have to change your life to feel better. You just have to notice it. When we overlook the small things, we miss our lives. But when we notice a bird call, a breeze, a belly laugh, we build a relationship with the now. We become more awake, more anchored, more whole. Noticing is how we come home to ourselves. Try this: daily practices. Name 5 things you can see, hear, feel, smell, or taste. Pause and watch the sky for 1 minute. Choose one object in your home and study its details. Walk slowly and notice one thing per step. Write down 3 small, beautiful things from your day. Savor your first sip of coffee, tea, or water. Feel the texture of your clothes, skin, surroundings. Spend 5 minutes doing a task very slowly. Look for something you've never noticed in a familiar place. End the day by writing, "Today I noticed." Capture one tiny delight in a photo each day. Run your fingers over natural textures, leaves, bark, rocks. Listen to background sounds with focused attention. Observe light and shadow in your space. Watch how water moves, dripping, flowing, swirling. Pause prompts. What small moments bring me comfort? Where do I rush past beauty? What do I usually overlook? How does it feel when I slow down? What's something tiny that made me smile recently? What does awe feel like in my body? How can I make more space for noticing? What daily rhythms could become rituals? What is already here, waiting to be seen? What feels sacred about the ordinary? When do I feel most grounded in the present? What helps me shift from autopilot to awareness? What does enough look like in this moment? What do I want to pay more attention to? What beauty exists right now in front of me? The little things are not little. They're life. When you pause and notice, really notice, you soften your grip on control and open your heart to connection. This is presence. This is peace. This is where wonder lives. Play prompts. Create a tiny treasures box with found objects. Doodle a moment of delight from today. Make a gratitude jar of small, specific joys. Paint a scene from your morning routine. Take a walk, take a photo walk, and capture everyday beauty. Write a micro poem about a single sensory detail. Make a collage titled "The Little Things." Sketch your favorite mundane object. Illustrate a list of today's unnoticed blessings. Use sidewalk chalk to highlight sidewalk details. Paint textures using only a dry brush. Draw a zoomed-in view of nature. Leaf veins, bark. Collect colors from a walk and match them to swatches. Craft a noticing necklace from beads or trinkets. Create an art piece using items from your pocket or bag. Play invites us into wonder, into childlike awareness, into delight. When we play with the little things, we create connection, not just to the world, but to the present moment. Let smallness become sacred. Integration practices. Keep a tiny joys journal. Choose one sense to focus on per day. Create a morning ritual of noticing something new. Share a daily delight with a friend or partner. Let small things interrupt your routine. Practice single tasking with attention and care. Decorate your space with reminders to notice. Set an alarm labeled Notice Now. Keep a noticing jar and drop in one slip daily. Let your environment teach you. Pause and listen. Say thank you aloud to ordinary objects. Treat your home as a sacred space of tiny altars. Use meal times as moments of mindfulness. Journal once a week about unnoticed moments. Make time to walk without a destination. Noticing doesn't cost time. It creates time. It stretches the moment. It roots the day. It reminds you that you're already in a miracle. You just need to look up. Let your life be made of small sacredness. Art therapy prompts. Draw the smallest detail of something you love. Create a visual gratitude list of unnoticed joys. Paint a scene that felt quiet and rich. Illustrate your favorite texture. Design a visual journal spread titled Today I Saw. Make a stamp or stencil with a natural object. Use magnification. Zoom in on a leaf, pebbles, or fabric. Sculpt a tiny object out of clay. Collage with tiny cutouts or mini torn paper. Trace light patterns on your wall or table. Make a memory collage of overlooked places. Draw a crack in the sidewalk and what lives inside it. Capture a 10-minute noticing session in art. Build a shadow box of tiny found objects. Create art that honors what most people ignore. Space for personal exploration. Journal prompt. What small things brings me the most meaning? Doodle prompt. Sketch 5 little things from today. Collage prompt. Make a mood board of quiet beauty. I notice the little things. I slow down. I find beauty in the ordinary. This affirmation honors the sacredness of simplicity and invites you to live awake, aware, and attuned. The more you notice, the more there is to be grateful for. Enjoy the little things in life, for one day you may look back and realize they were the big things. Robert Brault. You don't need a perfect life. You need a present one. The little things are waiting. The wonder is already here. Look around. Look again. This is it. Community invitation. What's one small, beautiful thing you noticed today? A sound, a smile, a detail? Share it and let's celebrate the magic of the ordinary together. Before you go, I want to recognize what you just did. You showed up, you stayed, and you allowed yourself to notice. Today, you practiced presence, and in doing that, you reconnected with your life. You loved yourself by paying attention, and every time you do that, your nervous system learns that safety lives in the small moments. You are leaving this episode differently than when you arrived, because now there is a part of you that sees more beauty. And I want you to know, I see you. Carry this with you. Your life is happening here. I'll meet you again here soon. Pause and play.